Thanks for joining us, and let's get started.
Welcome to our intermediate series on secrets of success, rich and happy. This episode will talk about making bigger changes. We'll address self-confidence and the ability to take on bigger challenges, learning to trust your gut when the time is right to make changes, and why the big changes are different for everyone. As usual, we'll introduce you to your personal challenge, which is designed to get you in the habit of practicing things that are healthy for the new you. Ready? Awesome, let's get started. With that, we invite you to get settled in a place where you can digest this information without interruption or struggle, clear your mind, and get ready to take the next step in a vital transformation. Let's start with a brief moment of silence to focus and meditate on what you're about to learn, receive, and practice.
Hi, and welcome back to our session number 4, Making Bigger Change. So I would like to talk to you about self-confidence. What do you think when I'm talking about it right now? Do you think it's an important subject? What do you think? Self-confidence. Do you feel comfortable with yourself? Do you feel self-confidence? And why is it so important? A lot of great things happen to people who believe in themselves. If you want people to believe in you, you gotta be starting believing in yourself. If you not have that self-confidence that you need to have, it will be kind of difficult to create a whole new path for yourself so you can see what you need to see in your life. So self-confidence is the first step of being spiritual, being happy, being rich, and being fulfilled. That's a self-confidence thing. So start from that as you're going on a spiritual journey. Spirituality need to basically help you with your self-confidence so you can go from one step to another. You can feel great and good about yourself. When we talk about self-confidence, where does it come from? What is it? Usually say it's come from the gut. You feel good about myself. I feel good. That's the right thing I'm going to do. It's the right job. It's the right relationship. I just choose the right mentor. I felt it from the gut. I have confidence in myself that what I'm doing is the right thing. Can you imagine somebody getting married and under the canopy, they're standing there and they say, not sure. I got the self-confidence of myself that I deserve that person, or I'm not sure that I choose the right person. All kind of self-doubts instead of self-confidence. A lot of things can go wrong when you're not having confidence in yourself. So we talk about the gut. Is everything come from the gut? Yes, the gut, whatever you feel usually is right. But no. And let me challenge my own self on that. Yes, you should trust your gut when you make decision, but not all the time the gut will tell you the truth. Meaning what? What is the gut? It's basically a force or emotions that connected you to something very higher. Remember the higher intelligence, the endless light, that energy that telling you, that fulfilling you, that telling you going right, going left. That energy is always right. It doesn't mean you get it right. Yes, it's a sign. People looking for a soulmate. Let's say one of my friends was dating a girl by the name of Wendy. And he didn't know if he's supposed to get married to her or not get married to her. And he's driving the car and he saw the sign say Wendy. And he called me and said, Eliyahu, I think my gut was telling me she's the right girl. I saw Wendy's sign. That's it. Let's slow down. Yes, it's a sign, but it doesn't mean you always get it right. It is a sign, but it doesn't mean you always get it right. How do you know if you get it right if you're not going to trust your gut? You should trust your gut when and if you are happy. When you are miserable, when you are sad, let me tell you something interesting. The gut are wrong. The gut are basically based on how you feel in that moment. If you are not feeling great about yourself, if you are in a bad mood, if you're depressed, your gut will mislead you. I always tell people, when you make decision while you are angry, your gut are no longer synchronized with the truth. You are experience anger. You experience something negative. When you're jealous, when you're angry, you're upset, you're not happy with your life, you are running on empty. What is the thing your gut will tell you? Your gut will basically it's a force. It's an energy of emotions that will lead you based on where you are right now. So before you trust the gut, please either meditate, either relax a little bit, look inside. Am I happy? Ask yourself, am I fulfilled? Am I happy? If the answer is yes, I'm happy, I'm fulfilled, I'm amazed. Now let the gut guide you. But if you are not in a good mood, everything is collapsing around you, maybe you're just looking for fulfillment toward your void that you have, something emptiness that you have, and you try to use the gut to just fill it up. Just put a filling on my misery so I will feel better. So if my friend was driving the car saw windy as a sign, I asked him, my brother, how do you feel today? He said, I had a terrible week, nothing worked for me, and finally there is one good thing that happened. I said, what is it? I saw sign that say windy. I said, my brother, let's slow down. The reason I ask you how was your week, because I want to check your levels. Are you in the zero? Are you above? Are you below? If you're in minus, your gut, no, they're misleading you. If you're up, you're above the zero, you're in a good mood, everything's working right, it's a great week, money is great, you are happy, you fulfill, everything is just perfect, then your gut are right. So please, trust your gut, develop your self-confidence, but there is condition to that. And the condition is to raise that level of happiness and fulfillment, and then the gut is always working, because we all have what we call the sixth sense. We feel things, we know things. We are going beyond the five senses. We know things it's happening to us. Many of us, we just think about a certain song on the radio, and it's just there. We think about a friend we never saw before, like we didn't see for a long, long time, and over time they appear or they pick up the phone and call us. Things happen to us as the sixth sense work. But it's not always the sign that we get it right. I mean, it is a sign, but we not always get it right. You want to get it right all the time? Make sure first you check if you are happy, and then trust your gut. When we talk about transformation, when we talk about change, when we talk about evolve into the next level, remember, for each person is different. Each one of us born different. We're all human beings, but we have different issues that we need to overcome. So whatever it is for you to overcome, this is your thing. This is your subject. This is your stuff that you need to overcome. Some people born with jealousy issue. Other people born they're cheap. Other people have anger or all kind of other things that you need to overcome. Some people born with a certain thing that make them stuck in their life. This is what they need to change. Don't compare yourself to other people. I mean, you can compare yourself to other people with a motivation point of view, how to change, how to raise the level of self-confidence. But it doesn't mean that you're looking around and start saying, well, my brother did that, this one did that. It's okay to get some motivation out of it, but it doesn't mean that they are you. Every person have a different progress. Every person have a different transformation. You have to know for yourself what is it that you need to improve. How do you get there? How do we do that without comparing ourselves to others? Very simple, my friend. There is something called a repetitive pattern. Repetitive pattern of a certain negative thing that I'm doing. You know already what is that need to be changed. Are you lazy? Is that your thing? Are you have anger issue? Are you getting angry every day? I remember when I talked to one of my clients, and he said, Eliyahu, I swear, I don't have anger issue. So what's the problem? He said, people make me angry. That's a problem. People make me angry. I'm not suffering from anger issue. And I laugh, and they go to trust me. I say, yes, you do. You have anger issue. Nobody can make you do or feel anything that you feel. Nobody can make you feel something you don't want to feel. If you feel angry, it's because you choose to feel angry at that moment because you have anger issue. Don't you want to overcome it? Every angry person want to remove it. Every jealous person want to remove jealousy. You know what's the punishment of being jealous? Being jealous. You know what's the punishment of being angry? Being angry. All of the issue I have, that's the thing I want to I want to remove, I want to transform it to something better. And it's nothing to be ashamed of it. I'm not here to tell you, oh, you're wrong, you're angry. For that reason, I'm telling you, don't compare your progress to other people. There is no point to compare. We are all human beings, but we are different from one to another. For that reason, I'm asking you to start working on it. Remember, anger is emotions. It's not to be ashamed, it's emotion. You just need to navigate it. Jealousy, you feel jealous. Why you feel jealousy? It can be negative. I want the other person to go down to my level, or jealousy can be positive. I want to climb to their level. That's a good jealousy because then you climb. So when you get your mentor will step by step, supposed to guide you on using what is not working and to make it what's work. For that reason, we call it transformation. Vital transformation. That your transformation will go from one step to another. That's really what it's all about. But don't look and say, my sister is doing better, my brother is doing better. It's not working like that. Because if you're going to be focused on what they're doing or they don't, then you're going to forget about one person. You know who it is? You. And for that reason, there is no reason to look around. You can get motivated by people, but you cannot be like other people because you're unique. You are special. You are special as you are. For that reason, you got to work on your stuff. And more you're going to know yourself, more you're going to do better and better. So I highly recommend, if you think about it, if you are open-minded, to write down for yourself, what is the stuff that keep repeating themselves? It keep repeating themselves the same again and again and again. For example, impatient. I remember when I moved from New York to Florida, I wasn't aware I'm doing it. Driving in New York and driving in Boca Raton, if you know where Boca Raton is, it's different. I'm sorry, it's different. It's just different. That's the way it is. You're driving in New York, you drive differently. You come to Boca Raton, the stop sign waiting in Boca Raton is 5.5 seconds. Stop sign waiting in New York is about a second. Try to understand that when you get used to driving New York for 10 years and you move to Boca Raton, it's kind of 4 seconds extra on everything. Everything is, so for becoming somebody who's going very fast, impatient, culture change, something happened to you, become angry. And I remember that my wife pointed out to me, and she said, when you drive on the highway in Boca Raton, there's something weird that you're doing. So what am I doing? Say, the cars, I don't know if you know Boca Raton, but on the highway there is like a 3-lane or 4-lane. The lane on the left is supposed to go a little bit faster. In Boca Raton, unfortunately, the lane on the left is not moving. So if you need to drive, let's say 60, they drive 35, 35, 35, 35. So if you drive, you have to wait. You have to practice your patience. So once I managed somehow to pass through the car, my wife pointed to me. I don't know if you're doing it, please stop doing it. I look at the driver to see who it is that just stopped my life. I want to make sure he know or she know that I saw them. You just stopped my life. So my wife, I remember, in a very nice way, come to me and said to me, are you aware that you are looking at them like you're going to see them for the rest of your life? They're never going to see you again. Why you even look at them? And I answered, stupid answer. I said, I want them to know. I want them to know that I know they drove slow and you shouldn't be there. He said, do you think it helped? I said, no, I don't think it helped. And I remember at that point, I woke up. I said, I got to do some transformation with that. Why you even do that? Disease, looking at people, what's wrong with them. And the idea, every person has to transform in their own way. I had to transform that part, that instead of looking at people, is actually allowing people to do whatever they want on the road, which come from my control freak issue that I had to overcome. And once you overcome it, it's an amazing thing what you discover about yourself. But for that reason, every person is different. Don't compare. We are amazing human beings, but we come with some stuff that we have to change. And once we change and transform those things, life becomes excellent and better and happy and fulfilled and spiritual and rich. All of it is yours. But it requires some change and transformation. I'm sure you ask yourself a question. This is all nice story. I want to change now, you're saying to yourself. I want to transform. I don't know where to start. I don't know what I need to do. My background is in Kabbalah, in the mystical aspect of Kabbalah. Now, what is Kabbalah? Kabbalah is basically information, philosophy, knowledge from 4,000 years ago that help individual to grow spiritually as they work on themselves. The part that need to be changing, the part that need to improve, has a name. It's called tikkun. T-I-K-U-N. Tikkun means correction. What you came here to correct. It's based on what you didn't do right in this lifetime, but we also believe in Kabbalah there is something called reincarnation. What went wrong in another lifetime? So you come with that baggage into this life, and you have to deal with them. Now those baggage are divided to three aspects. Some of them has to do with your action, some of them has to do with the words, and some of them has to do with your thought. Those are the three levels of change that can happen. Now recognize those things for yourself. Is it your acting that you are not doing right? Is it not doing enough positive? Or is there too much negativity that you are doing? You have to know where you come from. It is the words. Is it not speaking nice enough to people? Or it is speaking negative to people? Ask yourself that thing. Then come the third level, which is the thought. What type of thought going on in your mind? Do you control your thought? Is the thought has to do with negative thought that come to your mind and you're not able to stop them? Or positive thought that come to your mind and you're not able to manifest them? That's all of it go under one category in Kabbalah called tikkun. Tikkun, or in English it's called correction. What is your correction? Once you recognize your correction, whatever you use a mentor to help you, whatever you use yourself to help yourself, you're going to find out what is your tikkun, what is your correction. Once you find what is your correction, you need to start working on it. Once you work on that, life becomes amazing. It's so beautiful. I tell you what, try to imagine that you discover a big piece of gold, in the middle of the mud. Nobody saw it before you, but there's a big, large piece of gold, almost like the time in the gold rush. What would you do? Would you leave it there because it's too dirty? Or will you take it and wash it until it shines and become beautiful again? That's basically your soul. Your soul is covered with all kind of, basically, curtain. Those curtains call your tikkunim, your corrections. Your correction has to build, has to remove like an onion until you discover the real you. That's the purpose of life, actually. That's one of the major purposes of life, that you discover who you really are. But if you let the tikkuns rule your life and destroying your life, and then you're never going to have a chance truly to discover who you really are. I would like to introduce you to the challenge of this session. Within this session, I want you to find what is your tikkun, what is your correction. Now, the way that you're going to do it, there is many ways to do it. The simple way is basically to write down to yourself if there is a negative act or words or thought that happen to you on a daily basis. If it is, please write it down, because this is your tikkun, my friend. And what is it you need to do? You need to transform it. You have to work on yourself, to restrict yourself or hold yourself back from not doing it again. And as you practice again and again, eventually that negative thought, negative words, or negative action will stop happening. Now it can happen also, tikkun can happen also on the positive side, meaning you're meant to be doing something good but you don't, or you're meant to be saying good words but you don't, you're meant to be thinking something good but you don't. So it can happen also on the positive side or negative side. If you feel you're getting confused on that, please reach out to us, because we want to guide you and help you with that. There is another way to find what is your tikkun, and we're going to leave a list for you based on the sign of the zodiac, based on astrology. It will be based on your sign, what is your tikkun in this lifetime. Thank you.
This has been another episode of Vital Transformation's Guided Sessions. For more information, visit us at vitaltransformation.org, where you'll find access to all of our guided sessions, content library, weekly updates, and upcoming events. To keep content like this new, relevant, and free to the public, make a donation today at vitaltransformation.org/donate, or write to us at donate@vitaltransformation.org. Thanks for joining us, and we'll speak to you soon.